This is the very nearly fairly current show.
Hi Zain.
Hi.
Welcome to the Fairly Current Show.
Asmil, you know.
Oh, hey, please, contrary to popular belief, I'm not Asmil, you know.
Thank you so much.
So, you have a project going on, right? Called the
Read While Waiting project,
Yeah. Actually, can you just give us, explain why reading? I mean, what about reading in a Malaysian context?
Okay, on a broader perspective, in the things that Read While Waiting project has, including the KL Fridge Unison, is not about Malaysians, it's about just human beings abroad. I just come to realize that a lot of people who are speaking out today do not realize that when they say so much, they must also say much and not say nothing. So there's a whole caught up about people with freedom of expression. Soren Kierkegaard, in the video that I quote, he said people demand the freedom of expression to make up the freedom of thought that they avoid. So it's fantastic that you want to say a lot, but you must also know a lot. And the first key to knowing a lot is reading. You have to know that. And I mean, there's many other reasons why reading itself. So I think a lot of people are slowly disregarding the importance of reading.
Tapi you rasa macam books in Malaysia and the reading culture in general macam mana?
I think the reading culture in general is not very satisfactory, to say the least. For example, I started reading only when I was 17. I was late. When I was 17, I did not even know what the word envy meant. That was how bad. And English is my first language. Despite that, I didn't even know what envy meant when I was 17. So that's how bad it was.
And you're a lawyer now?
I'm a law graduate.
Law graduate, okay.
Yes.
Law graduate.
Yeah.
Okay. And at 17, you didn't know what envy
meant.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That was how bad my English was. So But anyways, it was a very depressing year for me because I was very outspoken and I thought I knew a lot of things. So the year I started reading, I got into depression because I found out that I was really stupid. I found out I was such an idiot. My God, I don't know so much. And it became like a reborn or whatever, And I felt, wow, I'm learning so much now. So that's when I started to grasp how important reading was.
But don't you think, like, in a Malaysian context, kalau kita tengok dekat macam, say, the budget, right? For example, over the last couple of years, we've seen the increase in tax rebates for purchasing of books, for example, increase from about 700 to about 1,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
So isn't that maybe a sign that says larger at least Malaysian society is interested to inculcate ataupun mempertingkatkan budaya membaca buku ni?
Very true. However, we must keep in mind that budget is only relevant to those with EPF accounts, right? But it is said somewhere that a person learns 60% of what he knows in his life by the age of 6, teenage years and then all that stuff. So you learn a lot more in those formative years. So within that formative years, if you don't start reading the early it is, you pick it up much later, there's not going to be much effect.
Okay.
It's good that the parents can now want to buy more books for their kids with this EPF thing. But at the same time, I think the younger crowd has to find it more appealing, and maybe the EPF part is not too appealing to them, so they might be want to have another approach.
So you're using a very, very chic modus operandi of the way of working of like a flash mob to kind of raise attention about this.
So one of the things that I'm doing to promote the Read While Waiting project is the flash mob part. I suppose you can call it a flash mob, you can not call it a flash mob because everyone's going to know about it, so you may not call it a flash mob, but the essence of it, the essence of it is a flash mob. So that is the highlight, that's the tool that I'm using to kind of create awareness for this project.
But don't you think that's a bit one-off?
Perhaps, or we could do it annually, you never know.
Right.
But there's another part of RWP is book crossing, which we will do it after August 23rd. But that said, the RWP itself is not about getting people to jump into the reading habit.
Okay.
I want to start slow, take baby steps because, to quote one simple example, the prohibition of alcohol in Islam did not come in one shot. It was a gradual enforcement. It came in 3 different verses. So at first it was discouraged, and then it was this level, and finally it was prohibited. So my point is, you can't jump to get people to start buying books and read one shot. So I felt that perhaps it's easier, just read while waiting. Eventually, when you get used to the idea and you like what you're getting, then you do what you feel is best for you. But I think the whole reading part and all that, going back to the EPF part, that may appeal to many people who are already reading. But what about the people who don't want to read, who are not interested in reading? How do we get that?
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the first step, and you plan to just affect people our age.
I suppose primarily our age would be, most interested in this because of the whole flash mob concept that's more
Okay.
appealing to them.
Okay.
But I'm also trying to get in other adults to be part of it because
How?
one of it is that the next video I'm releasing will include people like Sharon Bakar and Dr. Farish. These are people who are other adults also interact with and listen to and all that. So it's not just about appealing to the younger crowd. So I want to get other people of various age groups and various demographics to be involved in this project.
What do you think about the culture of bookmaking ataupun penulisan? Like right now, literature maybe, modern Malaysian, contemporary Malaysian literature. What are your thoughts about that right now? I mean, if we're talking about read while waiting,
Yeah.
and you talk about content. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts about contemporary content that's coming out of Malaysia?
Very poorly because I don't read too much.
Okay.
Let's be honest. Yes. But let's be honest. I mean, I started the habit when I was 17.
Okay.
I started talking when I was only 4 years old.
Okay.
I started reading when I was 8. So I'm very slow with alphabets. I teach math.
That's
part-time.
why your whole act is
Yeah,
called
so
Random Alphabets.
Yeah.
It's-
So which is why I
okay.
felt such an impact when I started reading because I'm very good with, not very good lah, but I'm fairly okay with numbers. That's why I teach maths tuition to high school kids.
Okay.
But I'm slow with alphabets.
Okay.
I took 2 weeks to finish Da Vinci Code and that was fast for me. That's how slow I am.
I never finished it.
Yeah, so my point is, I'm not very good in reading a lot, but when I do read, I get as much as I can. So my views on Malaysian contemporary literature, I don't know too much.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you think that like people like Sharon Bakar, people like Farish Noor,
Yes.
they are producing
Yes, and it's fantastic work.
not just in books but also through events, right?
Yeah, through events and you got these Facebook notes nowadays, and you got the blogs and all that. Those kind of stuff I do read.
Okay.
But if going back to books, no, I don't have access.
Okay. And then what do you hope to happen out of this, out of the whole RWP?
Okay, yeah. So a lot of people now, I understand where you're coming from. Maybe a lot of people are thinking, oh, so that's it, August 23rd and that's it. Book crossing and then that's it. But no, honestly, whether or not you think it's a silly project or whether or not you want to participate in any way, it doesn't matter to me. If at some point, I don't want to listen to this madman Zain, but you're about to go out and subconsciously, not even within knowing it's because of RWP, but subconsciously you're going to go out and you say, I want to bring a book or a piece of literature or newspaper. I've achieved my objective.
Right.
That's enough for me. Just to see more people reading when they wait. That's all. It's not about getting you to come on August 23rd. It's not about getting you to say, hey, good stuff you're doing. Nah. Just start reading when you wait. That's it. That's
Okay.
all.
All right.
Because you know what? Now maybe you go to the train station, 1 out of 5 start only read, right? Maybe 1 out of 10. But if 3 out of 10 start reading, the bigger the number, the more it will affect the numbers who don't read. And slowly people will start saying, hey, more and more people are reading nowadays. I want to start too. So in 2008, we may not achieve much, but 10 years from now,
Yeah,
15
who
years
knows?
from now,
Okay.
it's not going to be. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yes.
This is the fairly, this is the fairly, the very nearly fairly current show.